Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I have a fun fold card for you that I believe is called a squash fold because you squash it together to fold it. It's super simple to make but has a really wow factor to it. So we're going to be using two stamp sets here. We're going to be using a bundle called Sweet Baby with the bouncing baby framelits, and you can find this in the annual catalog. It is adorable. And we're going to be using an occasions catalog bundle called the Well Said bundle. It's the one with the massive amount of sentiments in here with the word framelits, thinlits, and has a cute little bird and some butterflies and some other flowers in it, but it's an awesome stamp set too. So to get started, let's take a look at what we're going to be using. I used kind of a neutral palette on this, so it could be boy or girl, using Bermuda Bay and Daffodil Delight. So either a boy or a girl, that would be great for. And I used this really pretty polka dot, Whisper White polka dot tulle ribbon. I love that tulle on there. So it's really soft and baby-like. And then we're also going to be using the tufted embossing folder, which also just gives you like kind of a fluffy, soft feeling with the baby. So what we're going to do is look at the dimensions of the paper. You'll always find the items that I use on a card, whether it be the stamp sets or the colors or the materials, on my blog, CindyLeeBDesigns.com. Just look on the right side under my photo and you'll see a search bar. Just put in the name of the stamp set. In this case, you would put in Well Said or the Sweet Baby. And then up will pop all the cards that I made with that stamp set. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start out with is a piece of Bermuda Bay. And the Bermuda Bay measures 8 inches by 8 inches. And what I did is I used my Stampin' trimmer and I just came in here and I trimmed it off to 8 by 8. And then, oh, look at me, I locked it there so it wouldn't go flying. And then I just put my cutting blade at the bottom and I put my left side at 4 and I scored it at 4 and do a nice deep score there. No floppy light touch there. We want to get a nice deep score. And then we're going to turn it again and make it at 4 on the other side and do a nice deep score. So now we've made a plus sign, and then we're just going to take either diagonal. You can go from this side to this side or this side, but you're just only going to do one. And you'll put the point into the groove and then the point also in the groove at the bottom. So you'll see that you've got one corner in the groove here and one corner down here. So just play around with that, but make sure that you hold one corner before you do the other. And then I find when I'm scoring on a diagonal, it's easier to start in the middle of the card and score than trying to go down. Sometimes it'll hit that corner of the paper, so just do a nice score that way. Alrighty, so that is the base of our card, the squash fold. So to get this ready to go, we're just going to play around with the score lines here, okay? We're just going to fold on the score lines, just loosening up the paper, because what it's going to be doing is folding in. So as long as you get all your score lines, then you'll see where it's going to kind of go in. So what it's going to do is it's going to squash in this way. So you're going to be squashing it in. Okay, let's look at see how it squashes in here on these two sides. So what we want to do is bring this, oh, we forgot to get this one folded here. So I want to push it this way and then have this be folding in. So it's just a matter of playing around with the paper to get the right way it's going to fold in for you. There we go. So now we can see, this is the hardest part of getting the card to go. All right, squashing that way, and it'll squash in here, and then we've got our fold. So what you can do is just make sure your fold is straight there and get your bone folder, which Cindy just sat out but now cannot find. Darn. Oh well, so we got it. So now we have the squash fold. It took us a while, but we got there. Okay, so because it was 8 by 8, it ends up with a 4 by 4 inch square on all these quadrants here, 4 by 4. Okay, so the front of the card, we're going to take the tufted and put on there, but we're going to border it with a Daffodil Delight. So if we're looking at dimensions here, if this is 4-inch square, our Daffodil Delight is going to be a 3 3/4-inch square, and then our Whisper White is going to be a 3 1/2-inch square. We just went in so that we had a 1/8 of an inch border around that. So let's just go ahead and get our snail and put on that first layer here. And that's the Daffodil Delight. And that's a 3 3/4-inch square. And we're gonna pop that on to the, get up on my tippy toes here so I can see I'm at my higher table filming today. Okay, so there we go with our, now, you know, I just can't seem to see it correctly here. All right. That's a better angle. Okay, so we've got our Daffodil Delight, and now we're going to pop on this 3 1/2-inch Whisper White. Now make sure when you're doing your card that you have it in the right orientation. So then we're going to put on the tufted embossed Whisper White right onto the front there. And we've got the beginning of our card made. And why don't we just go ahead and put in the Daffodil Delight on the inside. And then we just really know what we're doing, and then we can work on the white panels. So we're going to pop on our Daffodil Delight down in this lower right quadrant here. And it's really shouldn't matter, Cindy, since it's a square, and a square has all 4 sides the same. That's the homeschool geometry teacher in me. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put the other Daffodil Delight here. And this just helps me if I get that part done, then it helps me to know exactly what I'm, you know, working on there. Okay, so now we know, we can see how it's going to squash fold. So that's the front. And then you'll know you're doing it right because these are the 2 quadrants I'm going to use for some stamping. So let's take a look here at what we're going to do. And we're going to squash fold this way. So let's look at the outside of the card. We're going to set this aside a second. Look how cute this little baby is. He is so cute. Or maybe she, who knows. So what I did is I went ahead and stamped the little guy, a little gal, in Memento Tuxedo Black. And we want to use Memento because I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends. And since I used Daffodil Delight here on the border here, I wanted to bring Daffodil Delight in here to the baby's little sleeper. So then we're just going to color in his little sleeper and just put Daffodil Delight. You can use the lighter one or the darker one. It's just if you do a little bit more coloring with the light, it gets darker. And I do find that when we are using these, color on an angle. One thing Stampin' Up! Had us do is observe our students, should I say, our stamping class, and see how they are using products and how we can help them. And one thing I noticed at my past class, we did a lot of coloring, and some of the points of these Stampin' Blends got a little bit dried out and not sharp anymore. So I'm suggesting at my next class that we're stamping, if you color on an angle, you don't put all the pressure on the tip and you won't wear out that nice brush side. So there we go. We have the little sleeper done. And you know what? Let's take a peek in the inside. We're going to do the same thing on the inside, and what I stamped is the little baby in the little Johnny Jump Up, I think it's called. And then I'm just going to do the little sleeper jammies, the same color, Daffodil. Now, here we go. Getting that little guy dressed. Ooh, golly. Could you guys hear my stomach growl right there? It did. So here we go. We've got the little jammies. Okay, so on this little baby, I decided to do, I have 2 colors here. I have the bronze, which comes with the skin tones, and also dark soft suede. So whenever I'm trying to figure out what color I'm going to use, I'll kind of paint them around. And actually the bronze is this color, and the dark soft suede is a little darker. So I had to decide, do I want the wood on the Johnny jump up to what color I wanted it to be? And it looks like I did them a little different. So I'm going to make the wood the lighter color here. So I'm gonna just color in the little holder there. That's on the little guy. I think I'll just make this wood too. What the heck, we're just gonna color it all in. Okay, so we've got that done. And then let's do the ivory on the face here. Okay, so let's bring in the ivory and we'll color our two little baby faces here in the ivory. And do the little hands here. And then we'll do the little hands on the baby on the inside. And do the face here. Okay, so we've got the face done with the ivory, Stampin' Blend, and then I want to do some hair. So I think I'm going to use the bronze on the hair of the little guy. I'm thinking of my oldest one was a dark-haired baby. Looks like I used the same color as I did on the wood, but oh well. So let's just give him some hair. And then just go around the corner there. Give a little hair color. Okay, we've got the two little cuties. And then I used Bermuda Bay to do the little jump up. And just to make it easy, I just colored in the little part that he sits in. I just did that in Bermuda Bay. And then I came up here on the little band around here, and I just colored it a couple times, and it gave it dimension to the card. I mean, to the, gave it some dimension with the color. There we go. We got our babies all ready to go. But you know what's missing? We need a little pink heart there up at the top. So I just brought in some lovely lipstick, the light one, and put a cute little pink into the picture there. Okay, so we've got that part done. So what's missing here? We've got this little papoose here. And this little papoose is so adorable. You can use a 3x3 piece of designer series paper. And this is with the color collections, and this was from the Brights. And you'll notice whenever you use let's get this out here, this little papoose here, it has stitching in it. And so what I did was just ran it through the Big Shot, and then there are score lines right here. And you just fold on those score lines that are made. And then I just put a little bit of adhesive here to close up that cute little blankie he's in. And then I just put some snail on the back of him and tucked him right in. And now I wanted a little bit of that yellow showing to accent with that. So we've got our little baby done. Now I took a piece of paper so that I could do the little t-shirts here and also this little baby bottle. So what I did is I just stamped it in Bermuda Bay and in Daffodil Delight and the little bottle. And then I just cut them out to put the little bottle there, and then I have my two t-shirts ready to go. Okay, so let's just put this little bottle on here before I end up losing that little guy. Okay, so I just took a little piece of a dimensional there, and I'm just going to put it on to the outside just to give it a little dimension there, and that's going to be going on the outside of our card, but we're going to wait a moment before we put that on. We want to cut out welcome baby with the well-written thinlits. So let's just, this is hard to keep this together. So what I did is I just cut those out in Bermuda Bay so that it really pop off of here. So then you would just take a little bit of scratch paper here and make a little bubble with your glue, and then you can just put a couple little dots of glue on the back. You could also run this through with your Sizzix adhesive sheets, and that would be great. So we're going to put the welcome baby way up here at the top. So way up at the top, and then we're going to do this same thing with the back of the baby. We're going to make sure we don't have any, there we go. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue here and there. There you go. I love my Tombow glue. And we're going to, I need a little bit of glue over here. Okay, so little dab will do ya. And then we're just going to put that down at the bottom of the card. So now we've got that part done. And then our little boy is going to be on here. I'm going to put a dimensional underneath the top and underneath the bottom so I can slip the ribbon through. So let's go ahead and do that too. Because if he lays around here on my desk, he'll end up getting lost. So just put a dimensional on the bottom and at the top. And then we'll be able to slip that ribbon through when we're done with the card. So we're just going to put that here on the front of the card. So our front of our card is finished. We got that cute little baby bottle. So now let's open it up and take a look at what we're going to do on the inside. We're going to do Jump for Joy stamped at the top of the white in the upper left-hand corner. So let's just get out that stamp, Jump for Joy. We're going to use Bermuda Bay ink. So we'll just check for any edges. And we're just going to put that at the top of our card. Make sure you're stamping in the right direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump for Joy. And this cute little guy is going to go on there. And I just kept this flat because it's the inside of the card. And it's kind of a bulky card. So then I just put our little jumper right there. And then we can just put that right onto the inside of that Daffodil Delight that we did. So let's move the ink over and put that right up here in the top corner. There we go. And now the bottom, as you can see, I just put a cute sentiment, cute and cuddly, soft and sweet, someone to make your life complete. And then I just scattered a couple safety pins and the bottle again. So let's do that here on our other piece of 3.5 by 3.5 Whisper White. So we're going to be using the sentiment, and we're going to do the sentiment in Bermuda Bay again. So we'll just bring that ink pad back and hopefully not make too much jumbling here on the table. Looks like we've got good coverage. And then I'm just going to put that down here in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My friend Cheryl and I were just talking about sometimes you don't get a good imprint of your stamp from the stamp image because we don't hold it down there long enough. So I've been saying to myself, I'm just going to put a little bottle in the Bermuda Bay. I'm just kind of thinking to myself to make sure I give enough pressure and enough time for the ink to absorb into the paper. So then we have this cute little safety pin. Now for the safety pin, we're going to have to bring in some Daffodil Delight. So there we go. Let's get some Daffodil Delight, little stamp, little taps, put a safety pin here, a little safety pin here, and we've scattered some color into the card, and then we're just going to pop this into that lower right corner. Little snail, Remember, if you know a different name than a squash fold, please feel free to comment. Oh, and feel free to give me a thumbs up. I guess that's the thing to do on YouTube. If you like a video, give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That's awesome. Okay, so I kind of wondered what to do about these two corners that fold in. I really thought for a while, and I was going to put designer paper here, and then I remembered that I wanted to incorporate the Well Said bundle into this card. So what I did is I took, and where did I put my snail? Oh, there we go. So I'm going to put a little snail here, up there, here in this corner, okay? Right on the fold, so that I'm going to put the little t-shirt. I got a little bit over too much. There we go. So I'm going to put the little t-shirt, and I'm only gluing half of him on there because you want it to be free-flowing down here. So only have it on the upper part of this triangle here. So that's where that t-shirt went. And then on the same thing, this one's going to have to fold. So I'm only going to put it on the upper part of this. So it's only on these two upper triangles that you're going to put adhesive. So then I'll just put a little bit right. I'm being a little scared. Oh, I just ran out of my snail. But I think we'll have enough there. And then I put the little t-shirt there. So isn't that cute? You're seeing the little baby, then you're seeing the two t-shirts, but it's not complete without a sentiment. And the great thing about the Well Said bundle with the Well Said stamp set and the Well Written Thinlits is they have great sentiments. And so what I did is I stamped congratulations and time for a new adventure, and I used the same colors. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, since my snail ran out, put a little glue. And I'm going to put the yellow one, the daffodil, on the Bermuda Bay. And remember, you're putting it onto the t-shirt because you don't want this to be attached to anything because it's going to fold close. It's going to squash down. So then I put the time for a new adventure. Congratulations, time for a new adventure. I think that's really cute. And the sentiment, the font on that is just pretty basic, so it really gels well with that. So there we go. And you just have to be a little careful when you're closing it, but it closes without impeding what's in there. And when it opens up, you've got the pop-up on both sides here, a cute little sentiment. Okay, so now we're going to look at how we put that ribbon on. Remember, we only put a dimensional under his head and under his bottom. So it's very easy to take about a 20-inch piece of ribbon and just, how many times have you went to put a ribbon on and had a dimensional there or adhered it? So just be careful that you keep that open. Then you can just take that pretty Whisper White tulle polka dot ribbon and just tie a nice little bow there. This is really, I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. There we go. It's really easy to tie this ribbon. It's very pliable. And I just think it just gives a nice soft look to the card. And then just pop that bow on there. So you've made a cute little, and you could also pop a gift card in here. You know, you can make a card into any card into a gift card holder. And then we'll just, well, I could sit and play with this bow all day, right? Then you'd be really tired. Okay, so I'm just gonna snip off a little here, and we've got a cute little card to welcome baby using the Well Said bundle and the Sweet Baby. Take a look at that Sweet Baby stamp set in the annual catalog. So cute. And we just squash it to fold it together. So we're gonna call this a squash fold card. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. You can also text me or call me with any questions, 724-323-2296. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.